temperature drops below 32 degrees. The reversing valve switches to cooling mode temporarily. And in doing so, the warm refrigerant flows to the outdoor coil that melts the ice. The out the outdoor fan continues running to concentrate heat on defrosting. The indoor auxiliary heat activates to maintain home comfort. Most of us that are in the heat pump technology, we know this, but it's important that we understand, the features of why the defrost board is so important. As we introduce our new ICM Universal Defrost board, we're pleased to launch this with the introduction. There's a lot of high cost, limited access to OEM replacement boards. The need for a singular universal defrost control board, which replaces the function of nearly all traditional time and temperature heat pump defrost controls. This is a must. Our features include, it's universal, replaces almost any time temperature defrost board. It's important to know the time temperature defrost board and the time and temperature, and we'll go through those configurations later in the presentation. NFC technology, we use that through our ICM on the app, and it's a very functional operational mode of the app. As we talked about the time and temperature defrost, short cycle quiet shift. This is very, very important when a heat pump is changing the reversing valve between heating and cooling. There's sometimes, most of the time, tends to be a little bit of a bang, a little switch between the reversing valve reversing. What's unique about the defrost board, it stages that delay. So it eliminates that nuisance of that quiet shift. Very, nice selling feature with this product. Going on to the high temp auxiliary lockout, low temp compressor lockout, field test speed mode, brownout protection, and the two thermistors, coil and outdoor sensors. Let's talk about our sensors. I'm gonna actually stop sharing my screen for a minute, and it appears I'm not on the correct presentation that I want to be on, and so we're gonna go to that right now. So can everybody see my screen?
No.
No, sir.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Let's I'll go back and I'm going to share my screen. So
We can see that now.
Yep, got it. Thank you. I'm going into share mode. Sorry for the confusion, but this is what happens, right? I'm going to duplicate that. Perfect. Everybody can see my screen.
Yes,
Yep.
we can.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, great. So as we were talking, let's go into the coils. In our in the box comes a control board with two coils. The outdoor coil temperature sensor, the OCT. This sensor is designed to measure the outdoor coil temperature, which is used by the defrost board to enter and exit defrost. Very typical, very clear. This measures the outdoor coil temperature with more precision than a typical bimetal type coil sensor, which has less durability and more positive negative overshoot than our coil sensor that we're using. The outdoor ambient sensor, the OAT, measures the temperature outside and prevents feedback and provides feedback into the defrost board. The OAT should be located inside the condenser enclosure, not near the coil temperature or near the outdoor coil. So separate them and just make sure that it's outside in an ambient area, that it can truly measure the ambient temperature. What we have here, our product comes with a field test mode. The field test mode is designed to test the product based on the installation of how the unit is installed. The test location is down on the right-hand corner by the OCT sensor, and it is used by the bypass of each anti-short cycle, delay timer, compressor contactor, output run timer, and defrost run timer, providing, now this is a key point here, providing that the defrost controls are truly met. Why are we going to use this? The field test mode is used during the initial install, confirming that the UDefrost board is actually working. Conditions to enter into defrost must be met for the test mode function. These conditions include having a heat call in place and all safety switches are closed as mentioned above. Obviously, refer to the installation guide for a complete description. In our diagnostics that are incorporated in the board, there's diagnostic troubleshooting technology that is built in. There's 3 LED lights: cool LED, the heat LED, and the status LED. Each one has the description and the reasoning for it could be an error code. I wanted to highlight that where are the status, heat, and cool LEDs located. They're at the very bottom, right next to the test button, and they're bright lights that will illuminate. There's 3 of them: status LED, heat LED, and cool LED. Now, let's get into the fun part of this control board. Using our NFC technology, near field communication, this allows the user to easily preset the parameters of the device prior to getting to the job. What does that mean? He can, the unit doesn't have to be installed. You don't even have to be close to the unit. You can be in his truck 25 miles away and program the board for the operation that he needs. We always like to talk about, simply hold your smartphone over the NFC logo on the board, and the app which is on the left of the screen, it shows the app. It will pop right up. The user has to create a username and everything. Takes a couple of minutes. No big deal there. Or if somebody chooses, you can certainly go to the App Store and, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, they're there. You can download the app. In the next slide, we're going to talk about programming our unit. Step one, program device. Hit that. Step two, we now have 4 NFC products: our universal timer, our head pressure control, and our defrost control. The defrost control app it's now live, and it's on the ICM on the app. For folks that are on the call, if you don't have the app, I'd really encourage you to download it and use it. Great discussion topic with customers. In step 3, you're going to create a new program, or if there's already a program that you used, you want to save it, you can save it and then reuse it down the road a little bit. So in step 4, there's a 14-step process that the installer needs to go through, and they push the start off with the anti-short cycle delay. Hit the button, and he decides what parameters he wants to use, and he goes down through that and sets each one. What's unique about our technology here is that he can set it and then realize, oh, I don't want it at 5 minutes, I want it at 3. We'll go back and change it. There's no lock feature that prevents them from going back to readjust the unit. In step 5, which is the final step for programming the device, you're gonna take your phone, hover over the NFC logo, and I always encourage everybody to use your camera area of your phone as the part that hovers over the NFC logo. That seems to work best in my experience. And then hit program device. The unit now becomes programmed. It's a 14-step process that is really easy to use. And again, what's great about this app is that you can always go back and read this device. And what I mean by that is that unit gets installed a week later. He's questioning whether he did it correctly or wants to change it. Go back and read the device. Hover your phone over the NFC logo, read device, and right from that screen, they can go and change their parameters of the unit. And it's very easy, very functional. I use it all the time when I'm talking with customers, program it, read it, and everybody's always very intrigued by the technology. So it's, I say this is the, fun, exciting part of selling this product. Um, so we read the device, and now we're going into how many units does the defrost board replace? Uh, John Finetti and I, we counted the other day, it was over 200 different control boards that it will replace. There's a selection of the models and the manufacturers. Here on this screen, you can scan that QR code, and it will take you right to the ICM website, and it will give you this opportunity to download this picture of all the different boards that it will replace. Great, truck stock item, great item for wholesalers, in the city and remote. Great stocking item for everybody to participate and stock. In closing, a couple more slides. Just wanted to highlight our marketing team has put together some really nice sales and cross-reference and universal installation instructions. Great, great tools, great resources to understand our product, and obviously our our factory technical support team is always here to support everybody. The ICM website is a great resource to download these units, these cell sheets and installation instructions as well. Paige, I wanted to take this minute to see if there's any questions, or if anybody on the call has any questions that we can try to address for them.
There are no questions in the chat yet. However, oh, sorry, Greg has one. One, is this considered a demand defrost? 2, can the OAT be installed remotely? And 3, 100,000 thermistors, ? 4, is cool LED used in defrost mode, or will it still show the unit is in heating? 5, in the event of NFC doesn't seem to work, does the phone app define the problem? And 6, what if a tech has 100 of these? How do they tell which unit they are looking at? So we can go through each step again. Number 1.
Well, let's
Hold on.
let's start with
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah.
The demand defrost. No, this unit does not cover a demand defrost. That's why we highlighted the time and temperature. I'll switch it over to John, who can give more details on that.
Yeah. So this is not considered a demand defrost. So it's a time or temperature terminate type control. Number 2, can the OAT or outdoor air temperature be installed remotely? It can be installed outside. It is an outdoor air temperature sensor. It's not. It's in a metal casing, and so yes, it is okay to be. You don't have tons of lead length, so it can't be more than 5 or 6 feet maybe at the most, if that much. I don't know the exact length of the thermistor, but it's no more than 6 feet. So but that'll answer that. but yes, it can be mounted outside of the cabinet or inside the cabinet, away from any heat source that's going to potentially interfere with it. The resistance are 10K thermistors. These are not 100K thermistors. They're 10K thermistors. So that answers number 3. Number 4 is the cool LED used in defrost mode. No, the LED status light. There's a fault code table that we have in one of the status light will blink. I believe it's the status light that blinks for when you're in defrost. So yeah, status light has a heartbeat signal when you're in defrost. So it's the status light that will blink, not the cool LED. And in the event that the NFC doesn't seem to work, does the phone app define the problem? No, the phone app can't tell you if the NFC is not working. It just will tell you. It'll say, it'll give you like an error message, but the error message doesn't define the problem. It just says it's not connecting, or it's not able to read, or you won't get a check mark saying that it programmed successfully. It'll just come up with an error. One thing I will tell you about all of these apps, especially the ICM-UDefrost or any of the ones in the ICM Omni app, is that, with Android phones, you have to be able to have NFC technology capable on your phone. And then in some cases, you have to turn it on. There's a button in your settings to turn on NFC mode. So you will have to make sure your NFC is enabled if you have it, and make sure you have it. If you don't have NFC on your Android phone, then it's not going to work. But your more modern Androids will probably have it, but that's not always a given. So just always check that your Android phone has it. All the Apple phones have it. Just the Android phones may or may not have it, depending on the model, and just make sure that it's turned on if you do have it. And what if a tech has 100 of these? How do they tell which unit they are looking at? So you'll have a separate, you would create one program, and you won't, it's not that this lists it doesn't list each of the particular units you're programming in a file. It's just you're programming multiple units with the one program, or you can have multiple program settings, and then use different programs, but it's still, that doesn't give you a list of like ones you're going to have to pick from. You're not going to get, like, if you have 100 of them, they're not all the models that you're programming are not going to be, all the units that you're programming are not going to be listed in a database. It's just going to be, you're going to set the program. If all your models, let's say you have 100 of the same model, then you'll choose a setting that, a preferred setting for all the settings, and then you program each one the same way. Now, if you have all different models, then you would have different programs perhaps for each one you want to set, but that's going to be based on the program, and you can name the program whatever you want. So if you have, Goodman model, and that you want set up a certain way, you can say Goodman program model, blah, blah, blah. And that will be that one. And then if you have a train model, then it's train model XXX, and that'll be that program. So you can name the programs, and then so you can have a different program for each model that each individual particular model that you're programming, if those models have different settings. But if you have 100 of the same model, then you can just create one program for that model and program all 100 the same way. So I hope that answers your questions there.
John, one question. How do we know how many saved programs we can save in the app? Is it 5, 10?
I think there's a lot of programs you can save. I just don't know the maximum number off the top of my head. Many programs.
Got it. Hayden, was there another question?
Any other questions? Yeah, I was gonna say.
It looks like we just have the one from Paul where he says, do I need power on board to program it?
The answer is no. These program through the NFC communications and through the antenna in your phone and the battery power of your phone. So you do not need power to the device. In fact, we recommend you do not have power to the device because power running through wires creates electromagnetic fields around the wire, and that will interfere with the near field communication. So it's best to not have the power on when you program it. For Michael's question, NFC is different than Bluetooth. It's near field communication, much like Apple Pay. If you've ever used Apple Pay, there's an antenna in your phone. There's a receiving antenna in our device. The antenna in your phone sends a signal through the process of induction to the antenna in our device using the battery power in your phone. And so you can transfer data by the principle of induction from your phone to our device, and it programs a EEPROM in our device. And so it locks it into memory. So that is much different than Bluetooth. These are all good questions. Keep them coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we sign off, I just wanted to take a moment and let everybody know of 2-3 webinars that are coming up here in the near future. ICM, the 493 and 495 will be on Thursday, July 15th, June 15th. June 19th, we got a very exciting launch of our new 517A light surge protection technology. Many customers are already requesting information on it, so exciting. And then we'll be also relaunching the ICM 517A light in July. But wanted to take this time to obviously thank everybody. I apologize for the connections mishaps, but thank you, and we appreciate your partnership and look forward to seeing everybody in the near future.
Hi, Matt. We just head off. Just have a question from Kevin that came in, wondering if our ICM reps were going to receive samples or if they will need to place an order.
The samples are under, yes, samples are available. Work with your regional sales manager, or enter the request through our standard sample ordering platform on the website. But if anybody has any questions, refer to your regional manager, and we will get those questions answered. Well, once again, thanks everybody for attending, and looking forward to great success moving forward. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.